Emmanuel, God is with us. Emmanuel, God is with us. Here's my little woodland garden. I got this from Native Wildflower Garden. And what did I get? I got some American plants. These are natives. This is marginal wood fern. It's one of the few ferns that I can grow successfully. The ferns that I grow very well are Droptis ferns, and I have to buy them online. They actually don't sell them in my store. This is trout lily. It's just a little thing there, but this is a ground cover lily, so it's supposed to cover some space. And then I got this one, and this is Turk's cap lily. And isn't that a little cutie? Looks like they gave me two. And it looks like it's going to be a while for these guys, you know. But God bless her. That little lily's got a little lily vine already shooting up. So whatever it's going to do this year, it's going to do. And then I'm going to plant that one right next to it so it can take some space. Now, I'm in zone 10B, so I can't follow these rules exactly. It says plant in a semi to full shade, moist soil, and you want to plant 2 to 4 inches deep. I want to plant my stuff on the surface at 2 inches deep, but definitely not 4. And I plant in full shade. So that's the difference. So let's get going. One to dig for is going to be this marginal wood fern, because I use a trowel. And yes, I am planting into the roots of this plant here. This plant actually spreads out like that, so that's why I have to plant into the roots of it, because it spreads, whatever that is. This is not what this plant came from, but it does so well for me, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay. And the reason why I use a trowel is because I am planting into the roots, so I don't want to accidentally, like, this is something I don't want here. It's a grass that's doing its thing. Okay, so here is my wood fern. I cut it off there. This is where the new growth is going to come from. And you see those are the roots. Looks pretty dried up. But I'm going to plant her. Okay. Welcome to my shady garden. The only place that I know of that has this. This is the florist fern. So it's that real pretty fern that you get when you go to the florist. And I want it. So I'm going to try and have it. I'm going to plant our little tiny trout lily. And it's supposed to go 2 to 4 inches down if you are in a cool place. But when you are growing an item that grows in zone 7 and zone 10, you plant it on the surface of the soil. This lily is edible. That's the only reason why I'm putting my rocks around it. so that it has a chance to establish it before my wildlife discover it. Hopefully by then it'll be far enough along where it'll be okay, because it can be invasive in some areas, but it's a native, so I guess you don't call it invasive when it's native. But it can be. It's a great ground cover if you live in a cool, moist place that's shady. These lilies can get to be 3 pounds each. So don't get confused by this little guy. This is just a starter one. If you plant each of these, they'll each turn into a lily. I just want this. I'm grateful they gave me 2. So I will plant these 2, and then they'll be able to get themselves established. I don't need to plant these deep. I'm going to plant one over here to see if it can take this amount of sunlight, because this is partial shade. This is not anywhere near full shade. So hopefully it'll take that. Yeah. A little concerned that that little head's gonna come off of it. So I decided to plant it a little bit deeper, so that I could be confident that it survives. Yeah, those are rocks. Guys, when you grow stuff in your house, a lot of times you plant it in rocks. It doesn't, my plants in my area have to deal with that same rocky terrain. You know? So we're gonna take this little guy and put it right there. Call it a day. Again, they gave me 2 golden seals. This one is about to grow up. This might be, I think that they gave me 3 golden seals actually. How generous. They're tiny. I used to get a bigger one, but I'm gonna plant them in 3 different spots. Golden seal can take full sun in my area because we are short day, and golden seal comes from a place where it's long day. So it can take full sun as long as you keep it hydrated. It's no problem. It can grow in the same condition. It can grow it in your vegetable garden. It would be fine. But I'm going to grow this one in my shade garden. So the most full sun spot I have is right here in my shade garden. So I'm going to put it, and this is a male fern as well that's doing good there. So I think it'll do good with the fern, because I've grown golden seal and male fern before, and they do very good together in the same location. Digging the hole for it. I plant my golden seal flat, and then I sometimes get more plants popping up because it gets runners. Get it to grow a little faster. So that's why I'm digging the hole so wide. And then I just take that little guy, and I want the roots to spread out like an asparagus. Yeah, like that. And then I'm going to put dirt on top of it. This is one of my favorite plants to grow. This and this. These are my favorites. But I'm going to get some of my other ones that I enjoy a whole lot too. You don't have to worry about animals digging this up, because it's really, really, to them it stinks, and it tastes bad. So it's a pretty solid plant in your garden. Since I have some extra here, I'm going to dig another hole over here, so maybe I can get it going faster. It doesn't get that tall. In my area, it gets, only tall it's ever gotten is 8 inches tall, but it gets a really, really thick root in the ground, so I really enjoy it. And it's easy, and guys, it's drought tolerant. Right now it's not, because it doesn't have its thick root, but when it gets its thick root, it's pretty drought tolerant. But the area that I'm planting, as you can see, moss grows here, because my mother has some grass that she likes to grow called St. Augustine, And St. Augustine requires a lot of water, so she's always watering that thirsty grass. So I have to plant plants over here that grow in a garden, like a zone 7 garden that can take all that moisture. My natives, most of them won't tolerate that unless they're an annual. But perennials, they won't tolerate all the water over here. You see how gummy the soil is? Yeah, even in the air, moss grows on stuff. So yeah, that's how it goes. I would highly suggest, if you have a shady garden and you can get a hold of some American natives, they're very carefree. They grow slowly. This fern is 2 years old. They're not picky about their soil. Like, they'll take whatever you get them. And they just hang in there with you. So what more can you ask?